friends, Caddy here. I'm sharing today my 33rd process video. This is actually the title page for my 2014 vacation album. I'm beginning with this map. This map is from a Die Cuts with a View paper stack. It's called the Travel Adventure Stack, and I'll show you the actual stack, the paper pad, a little bit later in the video. Basically, I'm just starting with some of that. It's not even twine. It's like really thin. It's like kitchen, or at least my mom had it in the kitchen, like a really thin thread. You know, you can use any type of thread. I used this one, which was really thin because I didn't want anything too thick. And I'm gonna attach them with some little red brads that I just have in my stash. I think they're from Color Book, really old brads. And then I just basically tie a little loop and then put my brad through it. I tighten the loop and then I place it in there. And then this is, I kind of spared you guys my process of actually, looping each end and putting it in. So I skipped, and now I'm gonna attach all my little ends to Florida, which is where I'm from. And I was originally gonna do all of them, all of the 5 little brads. I was gonna just use one at the end, so I was going to attach them all to one in Florida, but I decided to do 3 brads in Florida because it was 3 separate trips. And actually in 2014 we took 4 trips, but the 4th one was in Florida. It was to Orlando. So I did put a little picture in the end, but I didn't put a little brad. So I'm just there I go with the first one, and that first one is what was that? That was our California trip, and then I'm gonna do our Vegas. And then it takes me a while because my nails are pretty long, so it takes me a while to kind of get the loop. That's why I'm using my tweezers to kind of make that little loop, because my nails are too long. I need to cut them down a bit, and then it's a little bit harder for me. And then now I'm doing the cruise, and the cruise had 4 stops, but 2 of them were in Mexico. So I put one little brad in Mexico, one in Belize, and one in Honduras, which were our stops. And then I'm just taking some washi tape and I'm going to put that down over the brads on the back, because I don't want them to get caught on any other paper or ruin the paper behind it or anything like that. And this map paper I love. I've had this paper pad for a while and I've been hoarding it because I love it so much. It's so pretty. So this was a perfect time to use it, and all the vacations we took in that year, they all fit in that map, so it was perfect. Now I'm taking the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Cherry, and I'm just testing it out on that piece of paper to see the color, to see if it's going to kind of match my page. And it matches pretty well, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm taking these Heidi Swapp little thickers, and the adhesive on these is really bad. Like they're all falling apart, as you can see there, but they're super cute. And you mist them, and they have like stripe pattern on them, so when you mist them, only the stripes get misted, which you probably might not be able to tell very well here in the video, but I will have a still shot in the end where you can see a close-up of that. And you're going to see, since I used the red, it kind of had like a candy cane effect, so it was really cute. And then I'm gonna spray some, that's a piece of wax paper that I have there, by the way, and I'm just spraying some mist on there, and then I'm just dipping each one in there. And then I will do that twice. I'm gonna double dip everything because I want the color to be really bright. And I could have even done it like a 3rd time, but it's okay. It still came out really cute, so I'm happy with the end result. And as you can see, I'm missing a T there. I'm gonna have to take another. Thank God I have 2 packs of those stickers. I always buy 2. I try to always buy 2 because you never know. And in this case, I would have been missing a T, so thankfully I had another pack, and I got my T from there. And then here I go. I'm just doing it again. Just doubling it up. Again, that's just because I want the color to be really bright. And I'm trying to keep within the color scheme of the teal, the yellow, and the red. And then I'm just placing everything on my wax paper, and I want to see kind of where I want it. And I decided to go on that corner over there. There's the paper pad. Very brief, showing you guys. This is one of the cut apart sheets from that paper pad, and I'm going to use that little pointing arrow which says I love to travel, which I do. I love to travel. It's so fun. And then I'm going to take that little card, and that little card, it has that arrow, and I'm actually gonna just fussy cut that arrow out, and it says been there, done that. So really cute. This is a really cute like travel stack. Like I said, I've been hoarding it for a while, but you know, I finally said it's time to use it, and I needed to make. And can you believe I've been hoarding this for so long? I was actually not even going to use this. I started pulling out papers from another paper pad that I've had for a while as well, and then I said, oh my god, I have the travel paper pad, I need to use that. So I went to it, and sure enough, I started pulling papers from there. And there I'm just kind of going through it, and you can see some of the papers. There's a ton of maps in there, which I love. I love maps. I absolutely love them. I think I'm going to do, for my previous vacation, I think I'm going to try to do something like this as well. You know, the bad thing is there's only 2 of each, so, you know, once I use this one and I use the other one, that's it. I don't have any more of this specific map, and I haven't traveled, you know, to Europe or anything like that yet. But you know, so yeah, I guess maybe eventually I'll have to get another stack, because I really like this. Unless there's another collection that you guys know of that has a lot of maps like this, but I love this one, and the paper quality is so nice. It's really thick, nice paper, so I really like it. So I took that red piece which has the polka dots on it, and I used that to mat my whole page, and then I'm going to mat my embellishments with that. So this arrow I'm matting with that, and then I'm going to use that, and then that little excess piece that I had there, I used that as well. And then I'm matting that yellow one. And I don't have the layout in front of me, so I don't know what that yellow one says, but it'll be in the still shots in the end, and you can see what it says. And then this one is a journaling card, the one that I have off to the right. I'm actually not going to end up using that. I cut it out, I glue it down, but I end up not using it. I place something else in its place. And the only reason for that is because 90, oh, by the way, these are just little circles, little scallop circles that I had cut out from my Cricut from one of my previous layouts, like I think 2 videos back, my 2-year anniversary layout. Those are just some extra circles I had sitting in a little container on my desk, so I just got those and used those. So as I was saying, that journaling card, I end up removing that, I'm sorry. And the reason being, 99% of the time when I write on my layout, like when I actually journal on my layout in my handwriting, instantly after I do it, I totally hate it. And it's not because I have ugly handwriting, because I don't. I just hate it. I just think it kind of ruins my page. I mean, it's pretty silly, but that's just me. So I would rather like hide my journaling, or like, you know, do it on the back, or tuck a little card in the back. You know, like I'll make a pocket for a card on the back of the layout, with a little tab sticking out, and then I'll do journaling in there. Sometimes I don't even do journaling. So I mean, you know, it's not because I don't want to do it, or, you know, I just seriously, every time I journal on a page, my handwriting, instantly I hate it. Like there's been a few times when I like it, and sometimes I just let it be, because, you know, sometimes you have to let things be, but, you know, I don't really like it. So that's why I ended up removing it, because I said I love how this layout is coming out, and I know if I journal I'm gonna hate it, so I took it off. And now I'm using those little suitcases. Those are 3 little stacked suitcases, which were also a little card that came in the cut apart sheet, and I am just backing that. I fussy cut the suitcases, and I popped that up. And then here I go. I placed that little gray, which was under the suitcase, which is pack your bags. I placed that up there, and then I'm taking these airplanes. These are just going through my little wood veneer tray. And I wasn't sure how many airplanes I wanted to use, but I decided on 2. And then I'm just painting them in red with that same Heidi Swap and the cherry color. So I paint 2 of the airplanes, and I paint a little boat, because the trip on the bottom was a cruise. And I paint a little geo tag, which has a little heart on it. And then I'm double dipping those. I want to make sure I get bright color. So there's my geotag, my 2 airplanes, and my boat. And I realize it's not a cruise, you know, it's just a little sailboat, but hey, you know, you get the point, right? It doesn't have to be a cruise. So I'm just making sure I have good color on those, and then just set them to dry for a few minutes, and there I go. I put them in a paper towel. And there I go, you see me swapping out that journaling card for that red card, which says, the sky's the limit. And I just love all of the cut apart sheets and everything in this paper pad, because you can kind of coordinate your page and make it really, really cute. And if you just use some of those pieces from the cut apart sheet and, you know, just layer them, you know, back them, you know, use paper like I did to make them pop a little bit more and pop them up, you know, it makes for really great embellishment. So, you know, it's a really great option. And at this point, I thought I was done. I thought that I didn't want to add anything else to my layout, but I did decide I wanted to add pictures. So there it is. I made a little collage on my phone with one of the you know, like the collage apps. And I can find out if anybody wants to know what it is. Just let me know. I don't have my phone with me, but I just made a little collage, and then I cut them out. They in that collage, it was just little hexagons. So I put, you know, my little pictures in there, and then I just fussy cut them with my scissor out. And of course, if you have like a hexagon punch that just happens to be that size, you can use that as well. So it'll make your life a little bit easier. But I don't have one in that size, so I had to cut them out. And then it's good because each of the photos has a little white border around it. So that's good because it makes them pop a little bit more. And I was originally going to make the photos, you know, or print the photos in black and white, just so that it wouldn't kind of, you know, be too much contrast with the colors going on in the layout. But I ended up doing color just because it wasn't going to be, you know, I wasn't going to do my pictures justice if I did them in black and white, because I have like a picture of the Grand Canyon, even though it's so small and you can barely see. But, you know, I just want to get a feel for what is in the picture. So one of them is in the Grand Canyon, one of them is in Lake Tahoe, and we have Lake Tahoe behind us. You know, that picture from our cruise is a really pretty blue background. So, you know, I didn't want to, you know, not have that. So that's why I ended up doing them in color. And then just kind of grouping them. The ones for California, I have one from LA, which is in the bottom. I have one from San Francisco, and then one from Lake Tahoe. And then in Vegas, I have one of us by the Vegas sign, and one of us in the Grand Canyon, which is kind of sitting over Arizona. And then I have the cruise one, which I didn't do one for each of the cruise stops. I just did one picture, you know, that we took on the ship. And then the one for Orlando, which I don't have a little brad for, but we still took that trip. And I will journal about that. So there it is. It's done. That's my layout. Here's some still shots for you guys. There's a close-up of that Heidi swap, the little thickers. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all your comments and all of your continued support. Please leave any comments or questions below. Please subscribe to my channel, and be sure to check out my blog. I will put a link to my blog at the end of this video. It's pretty new, but I am going to be adding things to it. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.